Hello everybody out on YouTube. I am Jacob on behalf of the Team Gaming Network, and today I will be unboxing the Sapphire Radeon HD 6870. Alright, so we'll bring you in for a closer look. This is replacing my 4870, which is actually not that old. I bought it about 4 months ago, but it was kind of lacking in graphics firepower on certain games, so other than that, yeah. Thing I forgot to mention is this is more of a re-unboxing because I unboxed it yesterday, but we were having some issues with the camera, or I should say the cameraman, as an itchy zoom finger. So I'm just gonna open this. As you can see, the seal's already broken. There's one on the other side that you can have a look at, though. It says Sapphire on it. But anyway, we should go over the stuff on the box. There's this cool 3D stereoscopic thingy that moves according to how you hold the box. 1 gig of GDDR5, tricks, overclock utility for Sapphire cards, AMD Vision Black, Radeon graphics, DirectX 11 support, Infinity, PCI Express 2.1, 1080p, Windows 7, DisplayPort 1.2, HDMI 1.4, 7.1 surround sound, super fast GDDR5 memory. Now I find that a bit redundant, but that is okay. Experience a 3D world with the HD 6870. This is talking about how you can use 3D, like a stereoscopic 3D effects and stuff like that. The AMD HD 3D isn't even out yet. The drivers haven't been released. I think they're probably just still fixing up little bugs and stuff. So on the box it shows also 3D stereoscopic support. We already talked about that. Digital power management basically just probably clocks the GPU down even farther while it's in 2D mode, which could cause problems. AMD Infinity, DirectX 11, advanced memory, GDDR5 I guess, AMD parallel processing technology, Crossfire X, and HDMI 1.4 and audio support. And then all these awards for Sapphire, and the one that got me the most interested was this one. It's the PC Whiz Kid recommended. And I didn't realize that they thought he was that big of a person. Dude, you're cool. Also, there's an AMD logo on the box. Now, excuse my box review. I can't stand it when people do this. Whoa. But now we shall break into the brown packaging. One thing I forgot to mention, that on the box it says this is 100% recycled packaging, so
recyclable.
Recyclable. No, it's 100% recycled packaging.
No.
So as you can see, it's got this brown paper. Comes with a piece of foam, closed cell foam, I believe. Oh, it's 100% recyclable. Okay, sorry. It's a good thing I have someone else in here to correct me. Okay, first thing you see, stop. You must connect this graphics board to the computer's power supply. It shows all these connector options. 1x4 pin, which is, I guess, Molex 1x6 pin, 1x8 pin. 2 4-pins. I've never seen more than one, I guess. 2 6-pins, 2 8-pins, or 1 8-pin and 1 6-pin. This card has 2 6-pin, I believe. Anyway. Shall pull it out, and the first thing that struck me when I pulled this card out of the bag, which I seem to be unable to do now, what the heck is going on? Something's hitching up. Oh god. Okay, there. I don't know what happened. But, first thing that I noticed was that in the Newegg pictures, it looks like these edges are curved, and even on the video it looks like they're curved. But when you look at it from the side, it's completely flat. It's like, what's up with that? Although the heatsink does extend all the way out, which I might have a look at later in the video. But it's got this, I think it's a 92 or 100 millimeter Sapphire branded fan. It's got the AMD Radeon HD 6870 graphics. It is a dual slot card. It comes with two display ports, an HDMI 1.4, and I believe 1 dual link and 1 single link DVI. Not quite sure about that. I'll have to look that up. and correct myself in the full review. This is just the unboxing. It has two 6-pin PCIe power connectors. You can see it has 3 heat pipes on its cooler right there. And they look like they're going to be shiny, but when you come around the other side, you can just see that they have a simple matte finish, except for this one over here, which actually doesn't, which is kind of odd. I guess they didn't take time to finish the graphics, you know, the heat pipes at all. It's got a PCIe 16X. Oh my gosh, I got myself too low. PCIe 16X slot. It's got these nice silver-colored plastic accents. All of this shroud is plastic. From what I've heard, the Asus CU core version of this card does not have a plastic but an aluminum shroud, so if you want something that feels really solid, then go with that one. I'm kind of wishing I had now, but I do like this design. It looks pretty cool. What else? I also noticed that it has a lot of empty space on this side of the PCB. It may be a multi-layer PCB though, but I do think you could potentially save some space on the PCB for shortening it up. Now, I do believe this is the reference PCB, but the cooler is the only thing that is non-reference. Although I could be wrong because I do not have a reference 6870 to compare this to, as I'm paying for this all with my own money at the moment. Now, we'll get into the accessories. Most people get into the accessories last, but the graphics card was on top, so I'll just go with whatever works. In here, I've already unboxed this, as you'll notice. The bags are torn open already. In here, it's got an HDMI 1.4a cable. This is basically comparable since HDMI and DVI have the same amount of pins, and each pin does the same thing. So DVI to HDMI cables are very simple. You just change the plug connector. I'm sorry. This is basically a dual-link DVI with audio. I believe dual-link DVIs have audio anyway, but it's a 6-foot HDMI 1.4a. This comes with two PCIe 6-pin or Molex to PCIe 6-pin adapters, as you can see. Now, one thing I noticed that was interesting, I mentioned this in the first video, but then once I looked through it, I realized that it wasn't exactly as I thought. But if you look, this cable's looped over, and the reason for that is it's kind of interesting. Most of the pins in a PCIe cable are grounding. I think there may be 2 power cables at the most. But if you look at this one, it's just looped over. And at first I thought, oh, it's just shorting out the grounding, not a big deal. But it's actually going out into this pin and then just coming out through this wire itself into the Molex connector. So just an interesting look at some stuff. It comes with what looks like a slightly longer crossfire bridge. This is normally in a little bag. I don't know where it was, and I forgot that it had one. DVI to VGA. I'll be using this because I have an old Dell monitor back here that doesn't have a DVI, and my main monitor is DVI. I'm not that dumb. It's also got a DisplayPort, mini DisplayPort, 2 DisplayPort cable, so you can just plug that right into the back of your graphics card. And like that. And then you can plug in your DisplayPort monitor. Or if you have a mini DisplayPort 2 single-link DVI, you won't need one of those active converters that cost $100 and have... okay, that light started buzzing. I'm not going to do that. Sorry about that. It also comes with a video card installation guide. If you've ever installed a video card before, you don't need this. Throw it away. Comes with a driver installation CD, and in this was a case badge, but I've already put it on my case. I will show you a look at that in a minute. But, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Just get rid of this. It might have the Trix overclocking tool. By the way, that was the light. I'm turning it back on. See if it won't buzz. And it is buzzing. Join and get rewarded, the Sapphire Select Club. Basically, you can get free promotions, and like for the first 1,000 people, they say, oh hey, on Facebook or whatever, first 1,000 people get a free game. It's usually not. It's usually a low-end game. So that's about it. for my unboxing of the HD 6870, but one thing I did notice on my first unboxing that I should make note of is that there are no heat sinks on the RAM. These are the RAM chips right here, if you can see that. There's no heatsink on any of them. And that is not a good thing if you want people to take this seriously, considering you've got 3 massive 8mm heat pipes coming off of your GPU. And I have taken off the cooler, and it's got a solid copper block that contacts the GPU, which I find pretty impressive. And just goes out into a fin arrangement. And I believe you could just take off the shroud and have the cooler by itself, which I may try doing eventually if I get sick of looking at this massive black shroud. But that's about it for my unboxing. I will have a performance review comparing it to the Asus Radeon HD 4870. This is my only point of comparison at the moment, besides maybe a GT 130, which is on our iMac. It's about equivalent to an NVIDIA GeForce GT 220, so it's totally irrelevant. Even this card's really irrelevant compared to the 6870. But yeah, this is about, I'd say, about half the performance in DirectX 10, so I mean, that's the only performance comparison besides taking numbers off the internet and things like that, which I will do. I won't have Crossfire numbers, obviously, because I pay for this myself, and I don't really have that much money to buy 2 graphics cards, which would be like $500. But otherwise, yeah. Just rate, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think about my videos. If I missed anything, please tell me, and ask me, and I should be able to answer your question, although you could probably figure it out yourself as well. Yeah.